Hey folks, this is ioEther. I'm back with some more World of Tanks. As you can see, this is Brass in his T-62A. This is a tier 10 game on Fisherman's Bay, and he is in the tier 10 Russian medium tank. This is the T-62A, and look at that, 2 marks of excellence on it, so he really likes this tank. He also has a bunch of other stuff on it. Something about MLG 2000, Moscow 2017. Oh, that makes so much more sense now. Of course, he's got the markings on there and the Ace of Hearts. And so before we actually get into this game, we're actually going to pause here for a second and do the usual rundown. If you think that this game deserves an MVP, then hit that like button. And I think after seeing the stats, unless this game goes a lot differently than I anticipate, I'm going to be probably hitting the like button on this one because I think it deserves an MVP. But if you do too, then hit the like button. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button. And if you want more content like this, then please subscribe. Also, in all things, please thank the patrons. They are the ones that make the MVP program possible, and they are awesome. Okay, for now, that is all. So on with the show. Oh, it's not all. I did want to say, since I have your attention, I'm going to be starting a series of Kingdom Come Deliverance in a couple weeks. I don't know how it's going to shake out just yet. I don't even know when I'm going to put the videos up yet, or how long or anything like that. But I'm going to start a straw poll in the description, and put a link to it in the description of this video. Do you want to see me do the main story quest, like just mostly do the main story quest, or I was thinking of doing something completely off the wall and going through the game as if I was a peasant the entire time. And so like doing it like starting at the bottom thing and then rising, getting as far up as I can before I die. I don't know how high that will be. I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know how hard that will be. But I'm not going to take any of the handouts, basically. I'm basically going to earn everything for myself. So if you want me to go the long, hard road, or the main quest, then tell me in the straw poll. If you don't care, then you don't have to vote. So yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys if I suffer or not. Which is usually a bad plan with you folks, but yeah, we'll see. So we're not even a man into this game. He's already at 1,000 damage. If this keeps up on this pace, then he's going to have a lot of damage by the time he finishes this game. So I'm going to assume this is either on the Russian server or maybe just somewhere on the European server. Because I can't understand any of the chat. And that's perfectly fine. So this poor T-92, I don't understand what the T-92 thought was going to happen, because of course he has absolutely no support. There's no one else here with him from his team. So of course, if Brass and the company can annihilate him, there's no reason for them not to. Like, this charioteer is in a similar situation where he doesn't seem to have any backup, but he seems to think that the enemy just won't crest the ridgeline. It's like he's just like hoping, and that hope is somehow going to keep him alive. I've been in situations like this, but generally you have to run. None of these guys started running. Also, there's 4 enemy tanks down, and we're less than 3 minutes into this game. So that's not normal. I mean, normally by this time, if there's 4 tanks on each team down, but like, I mean, normally you start to see a swing, like a heavy swing, but it seems to be pretty equal. That Type 5 didn't spot us. He has no idea exactly what he knows we're over here, obviously, because he got shot from here. But he doesn't know exactly where we are, because there's no one on this flank to pin us down. And so Brass is just going to keep doing work. Like, I mean, if there's nobody here to spot him, why would he not, right? So Brass is over here. He's done the work, and he's cleared out this side. he did have some help, and of course heat shells to the front of the Type 5. Ooh, assuming they hit where they're supposed to, will go through. Yep. But on the other side of the map, look at that. This whole side is gutted by this enemy push. So while our guys have pushed through here, that wasn't really our guys, it was Braz and T-92 came with them at the start, and then everybody else who's died has died over here. So actually most of our team is rotating around or has died over here. So yeah, that all happening. You can continue pushing across this field if you want to, but it's death, which is why Braz is heading back towards his base. He's going to set up here, or possibly out in the field, but one of these locations is actually best because of the fact that you can spot the enemy all the way over here, assuming you can spot around this hill. He's going to go brawl with them. No, he's not. Okay, good. That's thought for a second you were crazy. Good, sir. Going and brawling with the enemy is a great way to die because the entire enemy flank knows where you are at all times. Whereas if you can get up behind one of these rocks, you have cover against incoming fire. Not only that, but it means that most of the time the enemy doesn't know where you are. And if they do know where you are, it's because you made a mistake. You fired while too close to the bush or something like that. And therefore the enemy gets to track you. But as long as you're not doing anything stupid like that, like firing while you're too close to the bush, then you should have a fairly decent chance to just farm some damage while they're trying to cross fields. Like this M103. As soon as we can see him, which will be once we knock down this building, this guy has no chance of being able to see us. We can shoot through the side of his turret, assuming we hit the side of his turret, mind you, right? We don't even need gold. He's got gold loaded because there's a Type 5 round that still needs to die. And there's no point in trying to dedicate rounds to a Type 5 and then have the opportunity to shoot something else, right? And so, until the Type 5 dies, I have no doubt that he's going to continue to have heat loaded, and I wouldn't have anything else loaded, and neither should you. And then, but like that M13, he's showing the side of his turret. He can't do anything to stop us from farming damage from him. Nice shot into the T10, so he's shooting through a double bush. That bush in front of him is providing cover for him. And unfortunately, we got lit at the last second, and the snapshot from the T10 tracked us. But a little repair kit, and we're back on our way. And unfortunately, we have allies dying all around us. And so he works himself back into a similar position, not exactly the same one, but a similar one, and he starts looking to take out the enemy medium tank. Now, he's still got heat loaded, and you could argue that he doesn't need it for the object 430, but he's not got it loaded for the 430. He's got it loaded to take out the Type 5 or that Object 705. Either one of those, he's going to need heat in order to pen, assuming he doesn't have a clean side shot at either of them. And even the 705, if he catches that at the wrong angle, a clean side shot is not necessarily going to go through. Ooh, he's aiming for the... There isn't much of that tank there. I don't think a heat round is what you want to be shooting. I think APCR would do much better in this situation. Come on, one APCR round in. You can't... Yeah, okay. Because of how much of that tank is showing, an APCR round would have been better because of the fact that if he missed, it wouldn't have necessarily mattered. Also, the APCR rounds travel faster. Also, if they hit tracks, they don't disappear. And he has none of that. So, unfortunately, though, he's only got a couple of allies left, and only, well, actually 6 heat shells, 5 heat shells are not going to be enough if he doesn't start landing every single one, right? With only 4 heat shells left, he's still got to finish off that Type 5, which is going to take 2. He's got to... Ooh, that was a sneaky, sneaky shot! I don't know if that went in, but if it did, that was a sneaky shot. And he's got to finish off the Object 705, who was last seen on like half health-ish, right? The 430 we know is a one-shot, so HE could probably take him out. Somebody's capping, really? Oh, it's that 705, and he's going to be a 3-shot for us. Which means... Well, the first shot was heat into his tracks. That's bad. Second shot of heat. Your plate, nice job. And one more of those. Good. And now one more heat would be so nice right now, right? Unfortunately, we still got to finish that Type 5, which hopefully has we hopefully got hit and penned by our last blind fire on him. But if it didn't, that means it's gonna still take 3 shots against 3 highly difficult to kill targets, plus 1 for the 430, plus whatever it's gonna take to kill the 183, because we don't know, right? I mean, oh, nice shot. It was a very, very sneaky shot. Just snuck that in. It was like, you know, just throwing a dart. It just snuck right in. I don't know why I'm making this motion. This motion doesn't do anything. It was a very, very beautiful shot. Just snuck that right past the building, right past the hill, and penetrated in the tracks. There wasn't much showing of those tracks. So instead of sitting here and dueling it out with a Type 5 Heavy, a 183, and a 705, he's actually falling back in a way to make them have to come at him. Now, the Type 5 obviously doesn't care so much about having to come at him, and it just goes ahead and kills his ally, the T-44. Now, with his ally down, he has a... well, it's a 3-on-1. Good lord, anyone being in this kind of odds is not going to be a happy camper. But, at least none of them are scout tanks. There is that. The 183's on full health. You may not be able to do this, sir. I mean, the 193's on full health. Assuming... what's your average damage? We're gonna pause this for a second for a bit of dramatic effect. 320 average damage. 300... let's go with 300. Okay. So that's 7 shots... yeah, 7 shots to take out the 183. Okay. And yes, the 705 is a 1-shot. That means you have exactly 1 shell spare, assuming in 4 minutes you can kill a 183 without it ever seeing you, because if it sees you, it's going to delete you. Well, maybe. I guess it's possible it won't delete him in a single shot. He does have full health still, right? Like, I mean, there is that. So, he's got to not be shot by a 183, because that could go horribly wrong. Which means the 183 can't ever see him. Or he has to be fast enough that the 183 can't actually hit him. And now he's only got 1 minute and 30 seconds to kill the 183, because of the fact that the object is capping. I'd actually give him 1 minute to kill the 183, because after that you really do need to get over there and reset the cap. Okay, well, let's see if we can do it. He doesn't have any, what's it called? Oh, good lord, that 183 is a lot closer than I want it to be, considering what I want to happen. He tracks it up in the air, and it just comes straight back over. Ooh. And, okay, straight to the face. But, as much as he just shot us in the face, it didn't go through, thankfully. And so now the 183 is tracked in position. And, we're just going to farm some damage. Thankfully, the 705 decided to get off the cap. So that takes off a lot of pressure. Unfortunately, the 705 is behind us Okay, dead 183. 2 shells left in the barrel. Because he rolled high enough that I miscalculated, basically. Yeah, it's fine. How did I... It's fine. We're not going to worry about that. Oh! He must have damaged himself when he fired. Right? Is that what happened? Yeah, because he fired HE. I bet you he damaged himself when he fired. But anyways, we have 2 shells left. Is the point. 2 shells! And this is not some battle where the guy's AFK and we can afford to make one miss. As much as he might want a Faden's medal, he's got to play this with... I mean, every shot has to go in. Thankfully, he was able to get his crew back, and his tank working again with the large repair kit and the small healing kit. But he has a problem because as much as the 705 isn't a really stealthy tank, it can still go fast enough that he could still be up just ahead of us. Or he could still be at our base. The guy has... I mean, if he wanted to cap, he has to start capping now. But if he just wants to draw, then he could really be anywhere on this map. And we've done 9,000 damage so far. No, not 9,700 damage, actually. Like, I mean... So, if that blind shot on the T-Type 5 had connected, that's 10,000 damage we're at so far. And the 705 could make all that useless and just throw it all away if he just runs and hides. Or... I'm gonna assume that was a misclick. I mean, I can't... I assume he freaked out and misclicked. I mean, all the pressure that's on him right now. I mean, my hands would be doing this. Never mind, you know, little high tremor, and my hands would be full on shaking at this point in time. I don't know how he didn't. Like, I mean, that's got to be a reactionary miss, right? Because now he is actually down to a single shell. This next shell will decide the game. Assuming the 705 has Sixth Sense, he knows he's just been spotted. Also, he might see the giant puff of smoke, giant puff of dirt. Oh, yeah. And of course, we know we've just been lit, because Sixth Sense just went off. So, I always forget the fact that this is slow motion. Huh. Anyways, let's see how this game ends, because now that's 705. I mean, this is it. This is their last encounter. Because in a second here, we're going to be loaded, and then we're going to fire. Does the 705 aim, or does he just snapshot? Because if he just snapshots, actually, no, he can't kill us in a single shot. But he can get himself into a spot where we can't kill him in a single shot. And that would be bad. Okay. Nope, 705 decided to turn the side of his tank and gave us that beautiful side armor. And, like I said before, flat on side armor, APCR will go through. Wow, that game though. This is probably the closest game I've had in a long time. And I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Perez, for saying this in. We're going to jump over and see what his battle results were, but good lord, that kept me awake. Right? Wow, that was a good game. Mastery Badge First Class. Or Ace Tanker, my bad. Bruiser, Duelist, Fighter, Fire for Effect, a Faden's Medal, which never happens, by the way. Very, very few of these happen. Well done. And a high caliber. Wow. 1331 experience earned, base experience, 5 kills, 7 I swear I can read numbers. 9,774 damage done. He fired every single round of ammo. Good lord. This was an exceptional game. The only part where I think he may have come up a bit short was when he was shooting at that 430. He should have been shooting gold, or not gold, APCR, his standard ammo. Because of the fact that he was firing heat, if he hit tracks, which I'm pretty sure was what he was shooting at, then more likely it would have done nothing. He got lucky and it did 300 and some odd damage to him. But if he'd been firing APCR, those would have been more likely to do damage versus hitting rocks and whatnot. But other than that, this was a beautiful and next to flawless game. Again, good job, and thank you so much for sending this in, Braz. This was a joy to watch, and I can't wait for your next one. So thank you all for watching. If you think this deserves an MVP like I do, then go ahead, hit that like button. If you think, or if you don't like this kind of content, hit the dislike button. In either case, go to the straw poll link if you want, and tell me if you want me to go the ultra hard road in Kingdom Come Deliverance, or the main quest easy road. And then what was the last thing? In all things, thank the patrons, and if you want more of this kind of content, please remember to subscribe. That helps a lot. Hit the little notification bell. That helps a lot too. And I will see you all next time. This ioEther out.